the thrill. High octane drama can't get our fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags wave and champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You to NFR, feel the speed.
Speed demons burning up at SKR, the league we love. Sunday at 6, engines flare up, adrenaline shove. Tight turns, the smell of gas, tires screeching loud. Thrill on the track, every driver make the crowd proud. Racers gunning for the top, no room for any slack. Pit stop strategies, teams got each other's backs. One wrong move, dreams could crash, a season turn to dust. Victory tastes sweeter when the stakes are a must. Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive. Dashes, wheel-to-wheel clashes, cold sweat under helmets, pressure till it smashes. Race by race unfolding like a thriller on screen. F1 kings and queens chase that victory sheen. Rivalries ignite, sparking flames on asphalt. Pushing limits, no regret, not a single halt. Missteps and miracles, heartbeat secret speed. SKR battles fused with passion and greed. Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive. Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive.
NFR, it's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beats. Engines roar, can't stay off seats. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Go, victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Go, victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone Town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, 'cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. In the year 2025, they rolled the Ferrari out. Lewis and Charles on a legendary route. Dreams of golden glory, hearts beating fast, but shadows linger over a future cast. Racing through the night with engines roar, seeking out the title, always wanting more. To teammates facing fears that burn so bright, with every corner turned, they chase the light. Oh, will they stand together, or will they fall apart? Two heroes in a battle could tear the team's heart. History in the making, for better or for worse. Will their dreams be triumph or a bitter curse? Lewis with his seasoned skills, eyes on the prize. Charles with youthful dare, fire in his eyes. They push each other harder with every passing lap, but rivalry could snap that fragile racing trap. In the pits, the tension's high, whispers fill the air. Every win and loss, the way too much to bear. Teammates turn to rivals, pushing to the brink. Could history be shattered quicker than we think? Oh, will they stand together, or will they fall apart? Two heroes in a battle could tear the team's heart. triumph or a bitter curse. Chasing dreams under pressure, lost in the crowd. Corner two shots spun out wide and free. Championship slipped like sand into the sea. On the chicane, caught him slow on the twist. A second's hesitation, victory missed. Breathing spot, he slid off the track. Fans gasping as the sky turned black. Pressure breakdown, Lando running wild. Back speeds by with the champion smile. Mistakes piling up, dreams in the rear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear. Pressure breakdown, Lando running wild. Max speeds by with the champion smile. Mistakes piling up, dreams in the rear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear. Mechanics fumbling in the pit lane's glare. Leaderboard slipping like oil on the floor. Lando's hopes falling, can't take anymore. Max takes the lead with a grin so bright. Lando's in shadows, can't find the light. Wheel to wheel, but he's losing grip. Champions rise as dreams start to slip. One last race, the engines scream, hoping for a miracle, grasping at the dream. Final lap and there's no more to give. Lessons in the losses, that's how we live. Pressure breakdown and a running wild. Max speeds by with the champion smile. Mistakes piling up, dreams in the rear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear. Pressure breakdown, Lando running wild. Max speeds by with the champion smile. Mistakes piling up, dreams in the rear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear. Pressure breakdown, drowning the fear.
Feel the speed, the thrill, yeah. High octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams we take the lead. On an F1 swing, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed, the speed. You move to
Speed demons burning rubber, SKR the lead we love. Sunday at 6, engines flare up, adrenaline shove. Tight turns, the smell of gas, tires screeching loud. Thrill on the track, every driver make the crowd proud. Racers gunning for the top, no room for any slack. Pit stop strategies, teams got each other's backs. One wrong move, dreams could crash a season, turn to dust. Victory tastes sweeter when the stakes are a must. Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive. Dashes, wheel-to-wheel clashes, cold sweat under helmets, pressure till it smashes. Race by race unfolding like a thriller on screen. F1 kings and queens chase that victory sheen. Rivalries ignite, sparking flames on asphalt, pushing limits, no regret, not a single halt. Missteps and miracles, heartbeat sequence speed. SKR battles fused with passion and greed. Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive. Rev up, SKR brings the
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to a Sunday afternoon. It's obviously time for SKR. We are in Season 10, Round 4, and we're at a circuit that needs no introduction. Of course, the circuit in question today is Monza. Of course, the oldest race circuit on the F1 calendar and the third oldest race circuit in the world. Of course, only Brooklands in England and Indianapolis in the USA built their circuits first. This track's been around for a long time, of course, when it was initially built, it was a 10-kilometer circuit, somewhat different from what we can expect today. Of course, now it's a 5.7-kilometer circuit, just a touch under 5.8, but it doesn't feel like 5.8 because you're going so incredibly fast most of the time. No action out on track just yet. It's one of those circuits, setup is key. As little downforce as you can possibly put on the car. Or some drivers might have to put that little bit extra if they're not feeling comfortable in the corners. But down these straights, absolutely annihilate you. Just caught off guard. I was waiting for qualifying, but off we go for a sprint race formation lap. Was just getting that wrong. So of course, formation lap, everybody gets to go around. Cars won't be as full as they will be for the feature race. Most drivers will probably be, I'm guessing, on the medium compound of tyre. Just see if we can get confirmation of that. I think everyone will be on the medium compound. There we go, everyone on the medium compound of tyre. It's going to be a sprint race. I'm not entirely sure the distance of a sprint race around here. I think it's either 10 or 12 laps, something like that. We shall see when we get to the grid. Of course, the way this works, if you're wondering, if you take the championship order, we reverse it. That gives you your grid for the sprint race. That means the quickest drivers are all at the back of the field. The drivers who haven't been having a fantastic season so far, well, they're given a fantastic opportunity to get some points in this sprint race. But those faster cars, they don't waste any time. They don't do the one overtake per lap. They do the multiple overtakes per lap. That's the only way they're going to get to the front, and that's where they want to be. And more importantly, where you finish in the race, that is going to determine the starting grid for the feature race. See some of the cars there. Jan, one of the cars, I think it was Smurf, the other one, sitting on the grid. Those two must have made contact at some point in the formation lap. So they've been sitting there, cold tires, cold brakes. Not ideal preparation for what is one of the tighter corners, turn ones in Formula 1. Really don't want to get this wrong. Really don't want someone at the front to get this wrong, because the domino effect it can cause, it can get quite ugly. 4 red lights, 5 red lights, pause, and off we go. It's gonna be Joe versus Virus versus Chums. We've got a car going sideways into the wall. Flag is up, caution. That could very well be a safety car unless the game lets us get away with it. That car very violently 90 degrees into the wall. We have a retirement right at the start. Seems like we're going to get away with it. That caution has disappeared, regardless of the fact that that incident was on the main straight at one of the fastest circuits on the calendar. Stewards seem to think we've got this. Race will continue. Mercedes 1-2. Then you've got Smurf in P3. He was one of the cars that had to sit and wait on the starting grid, so he's had a good start. Then you've got the two Ferraris. Joe, he started in P1, so he's lost a handful of positions. Then his teammate Jan just behind him. Passepartout in P6. Followed by Top Gun. Take a look at the McLaren driver. This is Andre. And Spikes. In case you don't know who it is, it's twice. It's Spikes. Spikes. I'm not sure. Spikes. Whoever it is. Spikes looking for another position, goes up into P8. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to it because I can't tell who's who. Everyone's going side by side down the straight. And everyone needs to get themselves sorted out before that corner. It's so easy to lose an end plate, or even worse, lose an entire front wing in a sprint race. It could be the very end of your race. Don't want to be coming into the pits at any stage of a sprint race. Everybody's going from start to finish. That's why they're all on the medium tyre. Need a compound that will last to the end. Is that a ghost car? Car eyes on that Aston Martin. Let's have a look on board. Seems to be okay. That Passepartout in P6 is actually lining up a Ferrari. We get a great view of it. Goes past Joe Kutsia. Joe down into P6. Still holding on to that position for now. Remember, there are only the top 8 will score points in a sprint race, not the top 10 like a feature race. And then obviously that victory, just 8 points, not 25 like you see in a feature race. So it's really just about some bonus points. The real deal comes after this, where the real points are at. But if you haven't had a fantastic start to the season, this is the sort of race you want to get a good result in. Virus right at the top. He's got a half a second lead, so he's not safe at all. He's got Smurf right behind him. Then Chums a further half a second. Then Jan a further half a second. So the top 4 just separated by 2 seconds. We've got Spikes in P5. Tian in P6 for the RB team. 1 or 2 RBs here, the other one is Spy down in P16. Yes, that's what I'm calling him, Spy. We've had a retirement. That's a solid yellow flag, and I'm hoping it's not going to be more than that, but it could very well be. That's a second retirement in the race, but it seems we've got away with it yet again. This time it's Skull. We didn't get to see what happened, but Skull out of the race early on, lap 3 of 9. We know he likes the circuits here in Monza, or rather the circuits here in Italy. He's a fan of Imola and a fan of Monza, so he'll be disappointed with that. Luckily for him, it's just a sprint race. Still lots to play for later on in the feature race. Jesse's going to have a lot of work to do if he's going to come from the rear of the field that way. Smurf is now the leader of the race, so he was able to get ahead of Virus. Last time we checked, Virus was half a second up the road. Now that has switched around. Smurf is up the road, but it's only 0.2 of a second, so I don't know how much longer it will last. Virus made a mistake. It was 0.2 of a second, suddenly 0.9 of a second. Seems like Virus just made a mistake and maybe is falling now back towards the Ferrari, giving Smurf a bit of an advantage. If he's just able to break that DRS, things are going to become a lot more easy for him. Let me know in the comment section if everybody can still see the stream and if everybody can still hear me and everything looks fine, because my YouTube just went down, but Not sure if the upload was affected, so let me know if you can still hear me and you can still see me. Weeze goes over the line and does the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1 minute 20. Remember, the quickest drivers are coming from the rear of the field. It makes the sprint race exciting. You get to see the quickest drivers coming from the back. This is its Ferrari. Just ahead of him, have Weeze. Skull saying it's pushed into a wall. Lots of things happen out there on the race circuit. You've got to remember Monza, it's one of those classic race circuits. It's one of the remaining classic race circuits, and as a result, it's a lot narrower than the modern race circuits. And sometimes I think you've got so much more space than actually exists. Of course, the track has been modernized, and in parts it is extremely wide, but in other parts it still has that classic feel. Still has that feel that it's a little bit too narrow for a modern F1 car. Smurf leads at the front, but he hasn't been able to break that DRS. As I mentioned, it's 7/10, and now we've got a ghosting McLaren. Smurf down into P2. Virus retakes the lead of the race. And we've got a hungry RB in P3, and that's a quick driver. That's Tian in P3. He's been having a blast while these two trade positions at the front. He's been coming from the rear, now up into P3, getting really close to the McLaren ahead of him. Does that McLaren have damage? Keep your eyes on its end plates. Doesn't appear to be the case. He has lost momentum and is falling into the clutches of that RB. Virus leads the way at the front, then Smurf in P2. Tian looking to enter that battle for the lead. Before he can do that, he needs to get past the McLaren. Just to get off the Virus. Pace setter. The leader since pretty much the start of the race. Of course, Smurf did lead briefly and now leads again as they almost go 3 wide. And somehow, Tian, he did go 3 wide. Tian comes out on top. He went from 3rd to 1st. Well, not only is that a fantastic pass, you've got to say hats off to the other 2 drivers in that pass. Everyone gave each other space. That could have gone so wrong. Seen bad things into that chicane in the past. Not only was that a fantastic pass, it was great driving by everyone else involved in the incident. Tian leads the way, then Smurf P2, Virus P3. Saw Tian coming through the order. Saw Tian catching the top 2 relatively quickly. Now he's got clean air ahead of him, and let's see if he can pull off into the distance. He'd like to do that before Weeze can make up any more ground. Speaking of Weeze, there he is in P5, looking to make up another position. P4 still very much on the cards. The podium might be a bit of a stretch unless somebody makes a mistake up the road. He can rely solely on his pace to get a podium, and he may have to rely on the misfortune of others. Of course, could prove me wrong. He has many times before. This is Andre lining up a pass of his own. Up into P6 now, Andre. One Mercedes keeps on falling down the order. That's Chums. Does Chums have damage on the Mercedes? Doesn't appear to be. He's lost one position, and then another, and then another. It's down into P8. Skull here in the comment section, worrying about the race, worrying about starting from the rear. Of course, worry not. So much can happen in the race. We've seen it so many times before. It's one of my mottos. on the stream, the fastest driver does not always necessarily win the race. That's because anything can happen. Of course, none of the drivers here in the comments have been talking about rain, so I don't think that is going to be a factor in the race. We've had another retirement, and surely still no safety car. Impressive. 3 big retirements, 1 on the start finish line, and still no safety car. I wonder if that safety car's been locked in its garage. Somebody left the safety car off. Tian leads the way. This is now the final lap. It's his race to lose, really. He's got a 1.5 second gap, so he's broken DRS. Virus P2 still under threat from Smurf, and then Andre in P4 wants to hold on to that P4 as much as he possibly can, but it's not going to be easy. Spikes right on the back of that car. Let's ride with Spikes. Just 0.2 of a second between Spikes and Andre. Andre doing everything he can to defend that position, but there's no penalties up the road from him, so it's just going to be fought. And well, maybe Spikes not enjoying the onboard footage. Of course, it's not really my fault, is it? He'd be hearing this on a delay. So it's not just because I said his name and he suddenly crashed. It doesn't work that way. Another driver that is actually very much out of position. A driver, don't forget his name. Keep an eye on him for that feature race. Lebby, quick driver, currently out of position, out of the points, down in P13. I don't think he's going to be able to recoup much more than that. Levy does pick up a 3-second penalty as we mention his name. Pretty much everyone has gone over the checkered flag. Just going to wait for the official results so we don't get any surprises. I don't read out the wrong thing. Welcome there to Tian. In the comment section, of course, we've also got Skull in the comment section. We've got Death Queen, got Ubuntu. Not sure where are the likes of Visor. Also got Joe Kitsia. A lot of the drivers joining the stream. There's no qualifying session today. That's when we are able to get a bit of data from the drivers, because they might sit in the garage for a minute or two. Tonight it's pretty much get on with it. So Tian goes on to win that race, 8 points for him in the championship. Then Virus P2, Smurf P3, Andre P4, got Harsh Cartoon in P5, Chums P6, Spikes P7, and Top Gun picks up the final point. No points for It's Free, Pantry Star, Sugar Bear, Jan, Lebby, Joe Kutsia, Spy, is that Wheeze, and then Skull and Akmagozi. I think I may have missed something. We're back looking at the empty pit lane. Don't expect to see any cars coming out of those garages because it's not qualifying. We've just finished up with the sprint race. Remember, that sprint race determines the grid for this race. So all the cars will be lined up to the left hand side of your screen. Looks like everyone is going to, yes, looks like everyone is going to leave the session. There's nothing to worry about. This usually happens whenever we have a sprint race. Something just doesn't work with that carryover from the sprint race into the feature race. It sort of forces you to have a qualifying session. I think that's what they try and get around. So So you can stay with us. We will keep the stream up. Just now waiting for a new invite. We go in, we make a new lobby, and we get underway immediately. See, the drivers will be put into their positions. It's definitely spy, but no, I read it a few times and it's definitely spy. So obviously we just wait now for whoever it is to make a new lobby. We'll then send out invites. We'll join. There's not going to be a waiting period like there was the first time. As soon as everyone's in the lobby, we're going to get underway. It's going to be custom grid, so everyone will be placed in the positions they finished in that sprint race, and then we'll get underway. Of course, everyone will have completely open setup at this stage for the race. So if you didn't like the setup in that sprint race, thought you had the perfect setup, went into the sprint race and it felt like a disaster, you do have the opportunity to change that. Still a little bit of a pause as we wait to go forward. As soon as that invite does come through, we'll be underway.
His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear. Stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end he's more known for his tears at night. He's good but not that great, oh George, he's got the speed but not the fate, oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great, oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate, oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. In the year 2025, they rolled the Ferrari out. Lewis and Charles on a legendary route. Dreams of gold and glory, hearts beating fast, but shadows linger over a future cast. Racing through the night with engines roar, seeking out the title, always wanting more. To teammates facing fears that burn so bright, with every corner turned they chase the light. Oh, will they stand together, or will they fall apart? Two heroes in a battle could tear the team's heart. History in the making, for better or for worse. Will their dreams be triumph or a bitter curse? Lewis with his seasoned skills, eyes on the prize. Charles with youthful dare, fire in his eyes. They push each other harder with every passing lap, but rivalry could snap that fragile racing trap. In the pits, the tension's high, whispers fill the air. Every win and loss, the way too much to bear. Teammates turn to rivals, pushing to the brink. Could history be shattered quicker than we think? Oh, will they stand together, or will they fall apart? Two heroes in a battle could tear the team's heart. History in the making, for better or for worse. Will their dreams be tried?
Welcome back, everybody. Of course, we've had our sprint race, we've had our little wait. Now it's time to get going once again, and it's time to get going for the important bit. Of course, this is the feature race. This is where you get the most points, 25 points for a victory, top 10 score points. And if you score within the top 10, as well as getting the fastest lap, you can get that one bonus point. A point that, come the end of the season, may prove crucial. Also, a quick. Oh, I haven't done that right. You can't see the calendar, can you? Oops. I have to sort that out. So, off with a formation lap as we did in the sprint race. Remember, there was no qualifying session at the beginning of the session. There was no qualifying session in between these races. We had a reverse grid order for the sprint race that's determined by the championship order. Basically flip that on its head. And then hopefully all those quick drivers have filtered through to where they want to be for the feature race. Fortunately for Weeze, we didn't see what happened at the end there, but he was making up good ground, but it seems like he went backwards in a big way. So two Williams starting from the rear of the field. Hopefully for Skull, he's just able to keep that toe, come through the field with his teammate. So the order one more time: Tian, Virus, then the two McLarens, Smurf and Andre. Good performance by Andre. Then Harsh Cartoon P5, Chums P6, they're followed by Spikes and Top Gun. It's Faree and P9, Pantry Star P10. And then starting outside the top 10 with a bit of work to do: Sugar Bear P11, Yun P12, Lebby 13, Joe Katsia 14. The Spy 15, and then the two Williams, Weeze and Skull, and Napmagozi makes up the field. Now we just wait for the final drivers. You can see them there on the little track map. Wait for everybody to line up, get everything parked up. Then we're going to start seeing the red lights. They're going to come on one by one. Once there's 5 of them, it's going to be a pause. And then you're underway. It's going to be Tian versus Virus versus the two McLarens into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top at the end of turn 1? That's the more important bit. Looks like everybody's chosen Sanity into turn 1. The McLaren does go side by side with the Mercedes. Another McLaren getting involved there. Hopefully everybody's been able to hold on to their front wings. Appears to be the case. Everyone holding line astern for now. Tian leads the way. Let's bring up some information on your screen. See who's on what tyre. Of course, if anybody's chosen to go with the soft compound early on, we'll explain a blistering start, but no sign of the soft compound anywhere in the field. So we've just got the hards and the mediums. Seems like a pretty even split, maybe leaning slightly towards the medium. No, Ubuntu, it's the Spy. You know, a spy. Like James Bond is a spy. Tian at the front, 1.5 seconds. Well, what a gap. What a gap to open up at such an early stage in the race. Remember, it's going to be crucial for him to keep this gap above a second. That's when he's outside of DRS. He's able to just run away from that field behind him. Especially
Fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR in our veins, we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. dreams we take the lead. On NFR swing, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed, the speed.
There we go, I am back. Sorry about that. I tried to get you the visuals. Back before I sorted out my voice. Fortunately, you may have missed a few laps there as the rain started coming down outside. Well, something happened over here. So luckily we are back. Tian leads the way, 3.5 seconds. It's Ferrari in P2. Then Andre, still holding on to that podium spot. Remember, he started just off the top 3. He started in P4. So he's actually made up a position since the start of the race. But he'll look at the name behind him and he'll think to himself, oh no, just 2 seconds adrift is Wheeze. We saw him, he started right at the rear of the field with his teammate. I believe it was P16 where he started. Well, he's up to P4. Judging by the age of the tyres, no one at the front has made any sort of pit stop. The only pit stops have come at the rear of the field, P17 and 18. This is Tian. Out front, 3.6 seconds. The gap continues to grow. Then it's Ferrari, then Andre. Andre has a 1.3 second gap to the next car, that is Wheeze. This is Smurf in P5. This is the second of the McLarens. Remember, he actually started just ahead of his teammate. His teammates made up a few positions. He's lost a couple. Down into P5. Next car is Harsh Cartoon in P6. He's defending from the likes of Virus. This is Virus. And you can see what 5/10 of a second looks like around Monza. It's a little further away on the straights, but once you get into the chicanes, see how close they really are. Pantry Star in P8. A fantastic evening so far for the Red Bull team, but they are both inside the points. 8 and 9. Not a lot of points. More importantly, in the points. Spy picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to bode well for his race because he's already at the rear of the field. We'll be hoping for some sort of intervention in this race, some sort of safety car, maybe some sort of weather that can shake things up. Of course, we haven't heard anything in the comment section that would suggest weather is even a possibility. Judging by the skies, I don't think we have any reason to believe rain is on the way. Of course, we were looking up from the cockpit of Skull. That is the Williams driver, one of the two Williams drivers that started at the rear of the field. Of course, one of those drivers doesn't need much assistance when it comes to making overtakes. He's made his way up into a podium position. That means he's actually just got past Andre a few moments ago. The other Williams hasn't made up as much ground, but he'll be happy to know he has definitely made up ground up into P12. Sugar Bear, the only driver in the top 10 with a penalty so far. The other two penalties going to drivers at the rear of the field, that is Levy and Spy. Levy very much out of position. I wonder if that car is just ghosting. Seems to be in control of that car. Just not having the afternoon he would have liked. Tion. 3.2 seconds. I was gonna say gap continues to grow, but it doesn't. Gap has gotten ever so smaller. It's Ferree obviously responding. He now knows who's next. It's Wheeze. Wheeze is going to be in his mirrors pretty soon, so it's Ferree's got to get a move on. It's going to be Tian, it's Ferree and Wheeze, and RB, Aston Martin and a Williams. And Andre is still very much part of this. If he's able to stay with Wheeze, which he could very well do, if he's just able to stay within that DRS, he could actually use the Williams to bring him back towards that top 3. And if anything goes wrong in that top 3, well, then he's going to take his place in that top 3. Theon would have been hoping maybe to extend that gap a little further before Wheeze was able to get so high up in the field. Surprised everyone with the amount of overtakes he made in such a short period of time. Remember, it's only lap 10, we're not even at halfway distance. He's already up in the top 3, just 6.3 seconds adrift from the leader. We're riding with Andre, or we were riding with Andre. This is his teammate in P5, Smurf. Spy picks up another penalty at the rear of the field. Harsh Cartoon. This is Harsh Cartoon in the Aston Martin. Look at this. He's got Skull just ahead of him. He's got Pantry Star just behind him. It's one of the most uncomfortable places to be. It's when you're in the middle of one of these DRS trains. You're trying to attack. You're trying to keep your eyes on the mirrors. Trying to keep your car intact. And sometimes you come out on the other side empty-handed. Pantry Star makes up the positions, goes up into P4, Smurf now P5, and Harsh Cartoon, well, he's still down in P6. Further down the road, where is Sugar Bear? There he is, not further down the road, he's at the rear of that DRS train. We just didn't see him because the cars are so close together. Now we can say further down the road. Just 10 seconds down the road is Jan in P8, so some big gaps forming. Got Andre in P9. Don't worry, I don't think he's made any mistakes. That is just him making a pit stop. One of the first medium runners to jump. To make the change. Of course, it can be so crucial when you make that change. It's really about the crossover. When does that tyre stop working? and immediately when it does stop working, you're going to start losing an incredible amount of time. So you don't want to spend too much time out there on the race circuit if all of your opponents are pitting before you. That's how the undercut works. Of course, everyone there in the top 5, surprisingly, on a set of hard tires that they started the race on. So nobody in the top 5 is there because of a superior compound that's waiting to pit. Everyone in the top 5 looks like they can pretty much cement that position if they can just get the car home. So everyone in the top 5 now has a slight tyre disadvantage and will have the tyre advantage at the end of the race. So if they can emulate that pace, it's going to be very difficult for the rest of the field. Not quite sure why Jan is so far adrift in P6. Almost 12 seconds, 11.9 seconds adrift from P5. Andre in P7, there is a reason for that. He's been in the pits. Jan has just fallen behind, and the gaps have really started to grow. I know a lot of the spectators, they don't like the safety cars, they complain about the safety cars. Well, this is what happens when you get a race without safety cars. The field spreads out over time. The quicker drivers get further and further up the road, and if you don't have any close battles, you find yourself looking up and down for a DRS battle, and there isn't one on circuit with 17 drivers in the field. Skull does make an overtake, goes up into P14. 10 seconds. That is speeding in the pit lane. And I think that is also a DNF, as he called it a day. I believe he has. Who was it that got that penalty? Let's just have a look. Bring up your penalty screen, and I think it was Jan. It was Jan that picked up that penalty. 10-second penalty. Of course, those penalties that are picked up in the pits can be served in the pits if you choose to pit again. If not, it will be added on to your race time. 13 seconds being added on to your race time, well, it's going to hurt you no matter where you finish in the field. Dion leads the way, 12 laps on the hard tyre. Same situation for its free just behind him, and Wheeze. Pantry Star 12 lap old tyres. Sugar Bear 12 lap old tyres. All of the top 5 on identical strategies. Then you've got Andre in P6. Remember, he went on the medium tyre. He did something slightly different. He has now since pit come out on the hard tyre. He's got fresher hard tyres than all those cars ahead of him. And now is the time for him to put in the good laps, make up as much ground as he possibly can. He's got the same tyre as the cars ahead of him, but they're in much better condition. They're on the opposite sides of their lifespan, and while they should be tiptoeing around worrying about tyre management, he should be throwing everything into it, and this is a good time to close the gap. At the rear of the field, the drivers did pretty well in the sprint race. Chums P17, not where he wants to be. The two Ferraris 15 and 16. Then Levy has made up a bit of ground. Remember, I said he was out of position. He was right at the back of the field. Now up into P14, but he is yet to pit on those medium tyres. We've got Skull P13. He's made up a few positions, yet to crack the top 10 though. Virus up the road, P12, then Top Gun. We'd love to get into the top 10, but still 1.8 seconds adrift. It's a terrible gap, that 1.8 seconds. It's close enough for you to get a good look at your opponent, but it's not close enough for you to make any sort of move. If you're unable to close it, it's going to become very frustrating. This Sugar Bear is the new leader of the race. Remember, we had a top 5 that all went with the same strategy. Since I've said that, the top 4 of those top 5 have come into pit. Sugar Bear the only one deciding to go maybe 1, maybe 2 laps deeper into the race. We don't know what his plan will be. But He did not respond, surprisingly did not respond to the 4 cars ahead of him. He's going to throw the dice, he's going to try something different. Don't know if it's going to work out for him. This is Dion in P2. He's got a brand new set of medium tyres. And Jan, not again. Jan picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Now what's going to happen is if he does pit, he's going to serve that first penalty, but he's still going to have a penalty when he drives out the pits on the other side. Of course, if you've been watching F1 for a while, you'll all know the famous record by Pastor Maldonado. Got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Well, it's exactly the scenario, except it happened in real life. Pastor Maldonado, the only driver in life to get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while serving a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Sugar Bear leads the way. He still hasn't pit. He's going around again, doing something very different. Raising eyebrows. Does he know something others don't, or is he just rolling the dice? May have been a roll of the dice. Safety car has just come out. We were wondering if the safety car was off. Of course, we had 3 big incidents in the sprint race. In fact, we had one right on the start-finish line at the start of the race, and nothing happened. We got no safety cars. We haven't got even a virtual up until this point. I'm starting to wonder if there was something wrong with the safety car, but the safety car comes out to show us that it is very much working. The reason for that safety car was Jan. We saw him just picking up another 10-second penalty. Maybe just a bit of frustration coming out of the pits, making a mistake. So easy to do when the race just sort of snowballs against you. One thing goes wrong, it's followed by the next. Who's the fastest? Guys here will tell you they have a certain focus, they have a certain flow. Once you break that flow, sometimes, depending on the driver, you're not really able to get back into it. They get frustrated. Frustration takes them out of their normal driving style, which leads to mistakes, which leads to more frustration. And you can guess what comes next. It's lap of 17 of 27. We have passed the halfway distance. I did mention earlier on, this is what happens when you get a race with no safety cars. The field just spreads out. Well, now we're going to have the pleasure of the field being brought all the way back together. Drivers at the rear of the field who thought this race was absolutely done for them, well, they now have a second opportunity. Of course, anything can happen. We could still have another safety car. There's still so much time in this race. Don't think weather's going to play a part. But as things stand, well, it's the old joke. It's an Aston Martin 1-2. And it's Ferrari is second. Of course, I will continue with the conspiracy theory that that lead Aston Martin safety car is being driven by Lance Stroll. Pretty sure that's how he pays his dad back for the installments. Whenever he's not driving, he has to help out with the safety car. Of course, another Canadian billionaire's son. We think everybody will know him as Gotifi, Nicholas Latifi. Of course, he didn't get the second opportunity. Lance Stroll, he obviously got a seat at Williams. His dad helped him out with that. When it didn't work out, well, he came over and bought Aston Martin. As for Latifi, billionaire Canadian father also bought him a seat at Williams. But when he didn't get it right, there was no buying a team. It actually came back to their agreement. I'll do this for you. If you mess it up, this is what you're gonna do. So now Latifi Well, his DP's in university, studying business. So basically, I'll let you have your fun, but if you don't come right, well, you're coming over and working for Dad. So that's where Latifi is. That's why you don't see him in IndyCar. That's why you don't see him in World Endurance or World Rally or anywhere else. It's because, well, he's studying. The GOAT. Back to the books. Still under safety car. Remember, it's just the first safety car of the night. When you consider we're racing in Monza, the high speeds of Monza, it looks like a really easy track when you just look at the layout. Looks like a bit of a shoe, a bit of a boot. Doesn't look too technical, but I assure you, you strip all the downforce off this car for those straights. Some of those chicanes can become quite a handful. Of course, there was one other circuit on the calendar that had as little downforce as Monza, and that was the old Hockenheim circuit. A little bit longer than this one. Cars would run through the forest at extremely high speeds with almost no rear wing on the car whatsoever. It just looked like a little thin plate of metal. Of course, that track has been changed. Don't like it that much. I'd still love to see even the new Hockenheim back on the calendar. While we're under safety car, I might as well give you a bit of news on the potential of a South African Grand Prix. Kyalami is busy with its bid for a 2027 spot. A bid worth approximately $50 million. They say they will be finished with that bid in the beginning of March. As for Cape Town are busy with a bid of their own. It will be a lengthened version of the Formula E circuit they used a few years ago. A 5.8 kilometer circuit around the streets of Cape Town, or Kyalami. Well, now there's a bidding war. Right from Death Queen there in the comment section. Thanks for reminding everybody. Remember to like and subscribe. If it's your first visit, remember to subscribe. Remember to hit the notifications bell so you'll get a notification every time we upload. You won't miss a beat. Of course, we've got SKR on a Sunday at this time. That is what you're watching. And then we've got SAFRL. It used to be on a Monday night, not anymore. It's now on a Tuesday night, and you can get us there at 8 o'clock at night, 8 p.m. that is. Safety car is over. We're back underway. Lap 19. Make it lap 20 as they go over the line of 27. We're in the closing stages. All the gaps have been cancelled, and it's race on. It's Ferrari leads the way. We's in P2. We know these two can dominate fields. We saw the SKR Championship last season. We saw the SAFRL Championship last season, and both those cars were in P1 and 2. At least those drivers were in P1 and 2. In fact, in one of those championships, I forget which one, they were teammates. I think that was SKR last season. They were teammates. Imagine that for a lineup. It's Ferrari versus Wees. Wees will know him better than ever. Remember, they were teammates last season. One wheel to wheel so many times. Probably knows where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are. Doesn't need to take an insane risk. Just needs to get past where he knows he can. This is it's Ferrari. Clear racetrack ahead of him. Fantastic feeling to have. There's absolutely nothing ahead of you, and you're at the top of the timesheets. When there's someone that close to you in your mirrors, not such a great feeling. As I say that, I look to the top left and well, said there was no safety cars, I said there was no virtual safety cars. The game is just letting me know that all of the things I thought might be switched off, well, they're definitely on, and they were virtual safety car immediately after a full safety car, so the cars would have just started getting going. Speeds would have been neutralized immediately. Gaps won't be big. Remember, under virtual safety car, you get that delta on the right hand side of your screen. We won't be able to see it, but from a driver's perspective, they will. You stay within that delta, you're out of trouble. You go out of that delta, you can get a penalty. Depending how you play with that delta, you can actually still gain a lot of time under virtual safety car, and I think that's what Reese has done. Right on the edge of that delta, just 1.5 tenths of a second at the restart. It's an Aston Martin versus a Williams, and how much longer will Reese wait? Is he going to go for it immediately? Reese does go for it immediately, doesn't wait at all, just had the better run out of the corner, made no mistake. Maybe used a little bit of battery to help him get by. Reese leads the way. It's for P2, those two have swapped. Pantry Star popped himself up into a nice P3. I wonder if that was, let's call it safety car assisted. Maybe pitting at the right time for the safety car to come out, who knows, but he's up onto a podium position, and now it's Ferree and Weeze. They trade positions once again, nothing too exciting into turn 1 because the pass has already been made. Just a little bit out of shape there for it's Ferree on the exit. You see the car just snaking. What that does is it gives Weeze a brilliant opportunity to come right back at him, even without the use of DRS. You've given yourself that penalty the moment you squirmed off the line. Driver behind you gets that superior traction, and the whole way up the straight, you're grinding your teeth, looking in your mirrors, hoping for the best. Maybe hoping for the misfortune of those behind you. It's Ferree, still holds on to the lead, but for how much longer as they go side by side? Weeze does go into the lead. That's where he made the overtake last time round. Now it's Ferree will know the deal. He's done it before. He's done it many times before. Stay close behind the Williams so you can make use of DRS. Get back by on the main straight. Of course, it'll be interesting to see what these drivers are doing in terms of battery. You can see it at home. I'm not going to read it out. Drivers can get pretty sensitive when you read out their telemetry. I'm probably not even supposed to have this much telemetry. It's Ferree back into the lead of the race. Weeze back into P2. These two keep on trading positions. Looks like it's Ferree's favourite spot is the main straight. This is almost an oval racing situation where you don't really want to be in the lead on that final lap. You want to have DRS on the final lap, whereas in Indy or oval racing, you might be hoping for the slipstream on that final lap that'll catapult you past the leader. You don't want to be the car giving the slipstream. You find yourself in a similar situation now where you don't want to be the car dragging someone else around on DRS in the closing stages. When do you make the overtake? When do you want to be in the lead? And then of course, if it all comes down to one final overtake, what if you get it wrong? It's Ferree leads the way. This time Weeze just 4 tenths of a second adrift. He's going to get the use of DRS. 3 tenths, so he's going to be very, very close. Maybe even make the overtake before the corner. We've seen a lot of that. And yes, he does. He goes side by side. There might be a little bit of a defense here. The Aston Martin thinks better of it. Still many laps to go in the race. No point in bumping wheels at this stage. That could hand the race to Pantry Star. For a victory, that would be. It came out of nowhere. So the last thing you want to see is there any sort of bumping between these two, but they've raced together many times before. We have a retirement late on in the race. Caution up on our screens, and it's the same man that retired from the sprint race. No points on the night. No checkered flag on the night. I know I'm being a little bit harsh. Sorry, Skull. Sometimes I get into a bit of a monologue. No points on the night for Skull. What I think is one of his favourite race circuits, but of course he'll be back on track on Tuesday night for SAFRL. Still have that caution. No virtual safety car, no safety car, so everybody can maintain speed. Just no overtaking under the yellow flag. Wheeze versus its Ferrari, as it was before the yellow flags. They would have had a heart-in-mouth moment thinking of the safety car, but now it's too late for that. Lap 25 of 26. Yes, I think it is too late for that. Lap 25 of 26. Of course, Skull, if you're in the comment section, let us know what happened. Of course, in the sprint race, said wasn't given any room. Landed up finding himself in a wall. Let us know what happened in the main race. It's a difficult race having to come from the rear of the field like that. It's different if you have that superior pace of the likes of Wheeze, of the likes of its Ferrari. You're able to just come through the field. But if you spend too much time in the field, making one position here and there every other lap, by the time you get into any sort of decent position, everybody's so far up the road, there's not much you can do. Still staying with this lead battle because look how close it is. It's Ferrari and Wheeze 1.5 tenths of a second on lap 25 of 27, and we're about to go over the line and make that lap 26 of 27. 2 laps to go, side by side, out of Parabolica. That is bravery or that is madness. You decide. I suppose it depends what mood you're in. I think Max would say that was fantastic, and I think the Sky Sports team would say that was dangerous. Wheeze leads the way. It's Ferrari in P2. We've got Pantry Star and Andre. Remember Andre, he finished P4 in the sprint race. Obviously that's where he started in the race. At one stage got himself up onto the podium. I think he even got himself up into P2 at this point in the race. He's now back into P4, but crucially no penalties. Very good handful of points for him on the night. Of course, the man that's able to match him very often no longer in the race. Wheeze out in front, 4 tenths of a second. Of course, we've had 4 retirements, one of them a big retirement. One of the favourites for the race had the pace to win the race, but unfortunately didn't have the distance. I believe it was Michael Schumacher who said in order to win you first have to finish. And that goes with my saying that the fastest car doesn't necessarily win the race. It's Ferrari and Wheeze on the final lap, as close as you're going to get. 1.5 tenths, and a yellow flag pops up on our screens ever so briefly, but they don't have to worry about that because that's behind them. They're at the front of the field. It's Ferrari versus Wheeze, 2 tenths of a second. Who's going to come out on top? Can't really lead this battle, can we? Let's go to Wheeze. Get a view of that car just ahead of him. It's Ferrari. If he's going to go for the move, this might be the moment. He gets awfully close, but it's not going to be close enough for any sort of move. Might have to be a dive into Parabolica. We saw he got it right on the final lap. Can even pass around the outside on the final lap. Be great to get to Parabolica first though. That's what he's trying to do. Low stuff at the front. Let's go with it. Ferrari. Look at that. He is going around the outside. Is he going to be able to hold it around the outside? He's actually got in front. And who's it going to be? We've actually got away from that briefly. And who's over the line at... Oh, wow. 300ths. 300ths. Not the best camera angle. Apologies for that. But reason it's Ferrari. 300ths. what more can I say? 0.03 of a second over the line. Those two fought DRS battle. One was in first place, then the other was in first place. They were side by side through parabolic there at the end. But it's Ferrari, comes out in P2 just by 0.03 of a second. Might be a loss, but I think the motivation he'll get from being that close and the blood rush he got from that race, it'll all be worth it. Of course, if you're wondering where the game sound is, I had to mute it because we got a copyright strike on last week's video. F1 doesn't like it even if you use 10 seconds of their podium music. Seem to have a pause on our screen, so we're just waiting for those official results to come up so we can read them out to you. Of course, we've got quite a few viewers here this evening. I hope everyone's enjoyed the race so far, even though we had that one technical issue. There are your results. Wies takes the victory, started 16th on the grid. 16th to P1, that's driver of the day. Doesn't get the full ball though. No fastest lap. Wies P1, it's Ferrari P2. He does get the fastest lap and finishes 0.03 of a second behind the leader. Then Pantry Star, he's going to be very happy with that podium. Andre in P4, where he started. Sugar Bear P5, Virus P6, Smurf P7, Harsh Cartoon P8, Spikes P9, and Levy takes home the final point. No points on the night for P11, Top Gun, Chums P12, Apmagozi 13, Joker Seer 14, and then the DNFs of Skull, Tian, Yan, and the Spy. And there we go, we return you to
Speed demons burn them up, but SKR the lead we love. Sunday at 6, engines flare up, adrenaline shove. Tight turns, the smell of gas, tires screeching loud. Thrill on the track, every driver make the crowd proud.
Start of the season for the Ferrari team, lots of questions, how will it go? Of course, tonight, the Monza race season 10 round 14 will be much closer at the start. There's a little bit of concern, no safety car, field is spreading out, really looked like just getting the cars to the end and getting the result. Then a safety car came out, mixed everything up, brought the field back together. What a drive. What a drive from the likes of Wies, from P16 to win the race, to keep your head up. Of course, something goes wrong late in the sprint race, you have to start at the rear of the field, go into the feature race, you're already a little annoyed, you can't get your best driving performance, but he didn't let that happen. Kept his head where it needed to be, make sure he came through that field as quickly as possible, maybe a little bit of assistance from the safety car, got the victory in the end. Thank everybody who joined, there were quite a few of you here earlier on. So if it is your first visit and you're still here, remember to subscribe to the channel. Been here many times before and you haven't left a like on the video, shame on you. Leave a like on the video immediately. It is much needed. These numbers are incredibly low, but we'll keep on trying. I want to thank everybody one more time. I'm going to allow 2 or 3 minutes to see if anybody decides to join the Discord. That's if my laptop is working. And I will be back with you in 2 or 3 minutes, either with somebody in the comms box or to say goodbye to you all.
Rev up, SKR brings the drama. Highs and lows, no place for the comma. Checker flag wave, dreams come alive. Sunday at 6, see the legends thrive.
sweet. NFR. NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush. NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR. NFR. Yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush. NFR.
Welcome back, everyone. Of course, nobody joining the comms box. We might have people more interested in speaking about their racing when it comes closer to the end of the season. But I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight, everyone who watched the race. I really hope you enjoyed the race. And again, apologies for those technical issues, but we'll keep on trying. Of course, the next time you're going to hear from me is on Tuesday night. That'll be at 8 p.m. Hopefully load shedding doesn't make an appearance. Don't think I need to explain to anyone here what load shedding is. So, till next time, till Tuesday, 8 o'clock, I'll be back. One more thing. If you just look under the video, in the video description, I have added the Discord links for SKR and SAFRL. If you would be interested in driving for those leagues, you can join the Discord link. You can speak to the folks over there and they'll help you get a seat on the grid. And of course, there's also a Discord link to the NFR server. You can click on that, you can get access to the NFR server, and in future, if you want to join the comms box after the race, have a chat after the race, the comms box will be open to everybody, from the drivers to the excited fans in the comment section. So remember to go down to the video description, join the NFR server. We're trying to grow that server into a F1 loving community. So I hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you all on Tuesday night. And until then, cheers.
No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's right. Crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Let's keep trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's right. Crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Let's keep trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh, George, oh, George. He's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, oh George. He looks like Woody from Toy Story. That's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story. That's no lie, and when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story. That's no lie, and when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. In the year 2025, they rolled the Ferrari out. Lewis and Charles on a legendary route. Dreams of gold and glory, hearts beating fast, but shadows linger over a future cast. Racing through the night with engines roar, seeking out the title, always wanting more. To teammates facing fears that burn so bright, with every corner turned, they chase the light. Oh, will they stand together